What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from November 10th, 2021. This was AEW Full Gear 2021 Go Home Show edition. For this show was taking place in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Your commentators were good old Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. Hopefully, Jim Ross is doing a lot better. We'll change to his issues right now, going due to skin cancer. Hope the treatment's doing well for him and all that, and hopefully, or change to Jim Ross, he's getting a lot better. And by the sound of it on Dynamite show, this past Wednesday, he sounds like he's doing a lot better. And also, shout out to John Moxley, real name John Dengood, who is dealing with alcoholism, which is why he's in rehab. So shout out to him, and hopefully he's doing better. Of what I heard, he is doing better, and hopefully he comes back very soon. But at the same time, he could take as much time all he wants, because he's done all he did for All Elite Wrestling, carrying the company, being the AEW World Champion, even during the pandemic, during all the worst times from last year, and to this point. So get well soon to John Moxley for that. So, that being said, let's get right into the show here, folks. Returns to the show, there was a lot of wrestling on the show, which I'm not complaining, but there were a lot of wrestling on the show here. Then there were returns to promos. I mean, there were a lot of promos too, returns to video promos. Even returns to promos returns to building up for Full Gear and all that. And we'll get to that one thing later when we get to the contract signing. But and there's some things they added as well returns to Full Gear, which we'll get to that when I do the preview. Well, returns to the preview though, I'm gonna be doing the a pre-recorded preview for AEW Full Gear 2021 before hours before we get to Full Gear on that Saturday. But in the meantime, it also returns to Rampage. I will do a live coverage for Rampage tomorrow. So Rampage, once I get ready to watch Rampage later on, I'll be able to do a live reaction. I mean, a live review, I should say, for AEW. Returns to Rampage before hours before we get to Full Gear. And after that, and then again, returns to the pre-recording of me doing AEW Full Gear 2021 hours before we get to Full Gear. That'll be up to that will be pre-recorded, but the other two, like the one I'm doing right now, is live. We're doing it live. So there we go. So that being said, let's get right into what happened here on Dynamite, which is the Go Home Show. The opening was the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, versus the King of Sneaky Style and Rocky Romero, part of New Japan Pro Wrestling, representing Chaos, the faction that was once created by Shinsuke Nakamura, who is now in the WWE, which he's in AEW, but we all can't get what we want sometimes, right? There's a note that Rocky Romero was talking to Best Friends, and now returns to Best Friends. Now returns to Chuck Taylor and Trent, which probably Trent is still out of his injury, for his neck injury. Don't know how long he's gonna be gone, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be gone for until next year, 2022, in the summer. So he needs to take his time too. It takes to I'll have a full time recovery, because with some neck injuries, that's something that you don't want to mess with. So, but Rocky Romero basically returns to talking to best friends of Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuda, and the Galaxy Greatest Alien and Chris Stanlander are now officially part of Chaos. Now, even though I was going to say this before, which is to Trent and Chuck Taylor, the original Best Friends, they were part of Chaos before they were even in AEW. They were in Chaos, returns to being in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and returns to being part of Ring of Honor. But returns to New Japan Pro Wrestling, they were in Chaos before. But since the whole thing of AEW was launching and becoming a thing, Best Friends and Chuck Taylor and Trent Barella left New Japan Pro Wrestling, which means they also left the group Chaos to join along with All Elite Wrestling. And now, a couple years later, they're back into good graces with Chaos. And who's the leader now for Chaos, by the way? Well, ever since Shinsuke Nakamura left WWE, I mean not WWE, since he left New Japan Pro Wrestling to go to WWE, I should say, back in 2016, he was the leader of Chaos. But since he left, the second runner leader of the group was the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. So it was Kazuchika Okada who decided to make the decision to have best friends from AEW to now officially be part of Chaos by the announcement of Okada's very good friend who's also part of Chaos, and Rocky Romero. And when it comes to Rocky Romero, he has a relationship with Trent Barella, because those two used to be a tag team called Roppongi Vice. So there's a connection there. There's history there. Now, even though Trent's not there, unfortunately, but Rocky Romero and Trent, been friends for a long time, and with Rocky Romero, having this announcement for best friends pertains to in the AEW be part of Chaos. That touch right there pertains to this so-called forbidden door that Tony Khan and everyone's been talking about as well. It's real enough that we're going to be seeing pretty soon. Which, by the way, he is this year's winner of the G1 Climax. As Kazuchika Okada will eventually be making his AEW appearance. When he's going to do it, I don't know. It depends when it's going to happen, because he's got other dates too, pertains to him being over here in America. But to see Okada presence, to hear Okada's presence being announced and being name dropped in a way on the show, it tells you right there that the forbidden door is as real as it can be, pertains to New Japan relationships and AEW relationship. So, but besides that, Bryan Danielson and Rocky Romero. This match was great. I don't know what to say about this match. It was a pretty damn good match between Bryan Danielson and Rocky Romero. No surprise because Rocky Romero, he's a very underrated wrestler. What he can do, and it just shows him again pertains to someone who is known to be one of the best in the world as Bryan Danielson. And during the match too, by the way, Orange Cassidy was in the corner with Rocky Romero. Same time, you had Matt Hardy in the crowd in the front row. And I say to myself, why are they still continuing this feud? No one cares about Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy. No offense to Orange Cassidy, and no offense to Matt Hardy, but this whole thing that they're doing with Matt Hardy, your whole Hardy family office against best friends is not just that, but the Hardy family office alone is not doing well. It is not good at all. It is not helping the cause of the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. It's not helping the cause of a Private Party. It's not even helping the cause of this new guy who's Indian, who's part of that faction as well. It's not even helping to TH2, in Hanico and Jack Evans. Look at Jack Evans. He had his haircut. We haven't seen him since. I don't know. Oh yeah. I guess Chloe Ford is there too. Yeah, because that's helping out a lot, right? Wasn't that you got when Kip Sabian comes back from his injury, you gotta have Kip Sabian be part of that too. It's not gonna help the case at all because no one I'm pretty sure no one remembers who Kip Sabian is, and let alone don't care about Kip Sabian in AEW. But the Hardy Family office is a fail. And I'll get to more about them later too, by the way. But this is not about that whole thing. But basically, I want to point out when Matt Hardy was there, he was there the entire time until we got to the part where he wasn't there anymore, which we'll get to. But when it comes to Bryan Danielson and Rocky Romero, was a pretty damn good match, back and forth. Nothing but train of submissions after submissions to a point where Rocky Romero got caught in the label lock by Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson got, not the label lock, well, he had the label lock, but then Rocky Romero was countering in the way. Bryan Danielson was, went for something else, and then they continue more of these trains of submissions holding on and all that, and doing a lot of great spots in the match to a point where Bryan Danielson finally got him into like a modified tequila rise. The Tequila Sunrise, I meant to say, a submission, and Rocky Romero tapped out. So your winner was Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson needed this big. Obviously, he was going to win this match either way, but he needed this big win, this big strong win, pertains to going up to against Miro come Saturday. So he needed that momentum, And Jim Ross talks about, basically, not just Jim Ross, but the commentators as well, talking about how it was smart for Bryan Danielson to be wrestling on this night, even though he's need to stay 100% against a monster like the Redeemer, God's favorite son in Miro. I don't know. But by looks like Bryan Danielson, he can still go, despite having that competitive match against Rocky Romero. So then we get to Tony Schiavone. He is going to interview the Inner Circle. All of a sudden, they get attacked by the American Top Team. And yeah, that happened. And then we get to a part where they get in the ring with Jericho, where Dan Lambert was in the second rope while you had Middle of the Year and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And basically they set a table up in the ring to do a triple avalanche powerbomb to Jericho through a table. And it looked that good at all, but hey, the table went through. I mean, with Jericho's being having that fat belly, it had to go through it one way or another. So, and then you have Old Eagle Ethan Page saying that they're not going to win because American Top Team is going to win by having Dan Lambert pin Jericho. But in the meantime, they're going to have him tap out on Dynamite. And Dan Lambert, talks about the Boston. It's called the Boston Crab. Back in 1970 something, I can't remember what year he said from there. But he gets a shout to the late great Rocky Johnson, because Rocky Johnson is known to do Boston Crabs. And basically, yes, he's got Boston Crab from Jericho, and Jericho wasn't tapping out until Scorpio Sky grabbed the hand of Jericho and makes him tap out. And this made me care less more of the match leading up to Full Gear. I mean, I'm still gonna watch the match though, but I had no interest at all of this match at all. But it's gonna happen on the show, so I'll tune in for that. Hello, Japan girl. Thank you for watching. Hope you're doing well. And I saw your message on Instagram as well. I apologize. I didn't get a chance to to say hi back, but I really don't want to talk about it right now, but I'm going to one of those phases again. But then we get to AEW Women's World Champion in Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, teaming up with Jamie Hayter and Reba versus NJ of the Dark Order, Ty Conti, the number one contender against Britt Baker, and Donna Rosa. So the match happened, and match itself, it was all right, minus the whole thing of there was some sloppiness in the match. NJ again looks weak in the match, not her fault. But Ty Conti looked strong, and Donna Rosa was doing her all. In the end, it was Ty Conti getting the win on Rebel, and Britt Baker watched on and then walked away. And that was also that spot by Donna Rosa to Jimmy Hayter on the outside. That was one stiff flying cross body outside the ring. Basically the way how it was too. It looked good enough, but at least Jimmy Hayter was alright after that though. But yeah, that was a nice spill there going retains to it. But yeah, Ty Conti, she's on fire right now. She got the momentum going against Britt Baker for the title. The title that she's not going to win, but I'm expecting a good match though, which I'll talk more about that one through the preview, which you'll see tomorrow. We get a video package highlighting Chris Statlander and Ruby Soho, which is to them being in the quarterfinals of the TBS Championship title, and I thought it was pretty good based on the audio about that, because some of it happened on Dark, maybe on Dark Innovations, who knows? I don't watch those shows anymore, but it's whatever. But they also had a little bit of of a thing that happened on TV as well. I don't remember if it was on Rampage or maybe on Dynamite. I can't remember which it was. Pretty sure. As a matter of fact, I think that was Red Velvet at one point, if I recall. But I digress. But there you go. That was it. Jungle Boy versus Anthony Bowens with Maskcaster. So Maskcaster, he does a rap, I should say, which is the Jungle Boy stuttering every time he does a promo. So it's not much of him stuttering. It's just him, going through what he's trying to say. Because he's not a good promo cutter, and he's admitted this too, that he's not a good promo cutter. So, and then it talks about his girlfriend, which is Anna Jay. Something that know that Jungle Boy and Anna Jay are going out. But basically saying that leaving his girlfriend alone with 7 guys in the Dark Order. And I'm like, what's he trying to say there? Oh man, I thought Max Max has no chill. Uh, I don't know what it mean by that, but I'll take your word for it. But anyways, you have Jungle Boy versus Anthony Bowens. And so okay, I get that Anthony Bowens is a good wrestler and everything, and he is. But after the whole thing with Matt Caster, rapping to Jungle Boy about this whole thing, and the same thing happened last Friday where it turns to Rampage with Bryan Danielson. Shouldn't it be Matt Caster in the match with these guys? After talking all that shit on the mic on returns to rapping, instead of having Anthony Bowens. I don't know. To me, it's just odd. But as far as the match was, Jungle Boy and Anthony Bowens, but it looked pretty good. Like I said, Anthony Bowens, he's a pretty good wrestler. So it was pretty good what they did. Matt Caster did get involved, but then Jungle Boy took care of him. And then in the end, it was Jungle Boy with the snare trap onto Anthony Bowens, and he tapped out. And after Caster tried to reach out for his hand to try to get the ropes and everything, but to no avail because Jungle Boy was really putting that pressure into the snare trap to make him tap out. And there you go, Jungle Boy wins. After the match, though, Jungle Boy is celebrating on the corner, and then Bobby Fish comes out of nowhere and attacks Jungle Boy. For what reason? I don't know. But based on this whole thing with Jungle Boy, with doing what he's doing right now with Adam Cole, and Adam Cole and Bobby Fish's history together, not just in Ring of Honor, but also in WWE NXT, Undisputed Era. That was my guess. So also, in Christian Cage and Luchasaurus comes out to chase away Bobby Fish, and that was it. So we'll get to more a little bit of that when we get to it. We get a hype video of Kenny Omega versus the Hangman Adam Page for Full Gear. We have a couple of guys talking about the match between the two, and which is not just the match, but for the title. That's gonna be the main event, and history between these two. It was pretty good. It was pretty well done. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the same thing. This package that they show on that show. When we get to Full Gear. We go backstage. We see Young Bucks and Adam Cole. Super Click, part of the Elite. And Adam Cole says that he knows someone for a long time to Matt and Nick Jackson, and he introduced them to Bobby Fish. And basically, they say that we know who he is, but he is new here to AEW. And it says, but anyone who's a friend of Adam Cole is a friend of ours. And there you go. And that's basically what it is, folks. So yeah, I knew right there what was that was all about. What Jungle Boy gets about Bobby Fish. It was by Adam Cole. Basically telling his good buddy they known for a long time about Bobby Fish to do the work for him. And they announced a match that's gonna happen on Rampage. Jungle Boy versus Bobby Fish, which we'll get to that when we get to Rampage when I watch that later on. We get a hype video, a hype package for Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk for Full Gear. And I thought it was pretty good too, by the way. Then we get to Wheeler Yuta with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy at ringside versus representing the Pinnacle. He is Mr. Mayhem himself, Wardlow. So the match happens. It started off at first, and then all of a sudden, Yuta was going for some type of move from the turnbuckle. Second rope, I should say. He slipped, unfortunately, and Wardlow took care of him from there, though. And then he gets him not one, not two, not three, but 4 power bombs. Finally, he got to the point where he got for his finisher. I forget what he calls it, but it's the rising knee strike that he does when he gets his opponent in the corner, on the second rope of the corner, and then he holds him up, thumbs up, thumbs down, and then boom, knocks him out, and goes for a 3 count and the win. Sometimes they'll just call for the bell pertains to that, so Wardlow wins. What does this lead to? Absolutely nothing, because Wardlow has nothing to do with the pay-per-view. But what was this done for? Well, we get Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor get in the ring to check on Wheeler. Also, we notice Matt Hardy's still there in the crowd. He's been there since the beginning of the show. And all of a sudden, we see Isaiah Cassidy, the Blade. They all run down, and they all start beating up on them. Matt Hardy gets in there, and Matt Hardy does a twist of fate, which the commentators were saying twist of hate. because of the way it was done to Orange Cassidy with a steel chair wrapped around his head and all that. And but actually, no, it wasn't a steel chair. I mean, it was a steel chair. Yeah, it was a steel chair. My apologies, folks. um, now somebody said it was a side effect or it was a twist of fate. I think it was a twist of fate. I forgot to catch that part and all, but I think it was a twist of fate. But they kept calling it the twist of fate. You know, that was something that Jeff Hardy used to call back in TNA when he was a heel, part of the Immortal, twist of fate. So in a way, they reference here twist of fate here. No, it's not because it's not any signs or anything to leave to our imagination that Jeff Hardy's coming. He's doing it in WWE for God knows how long. So and with Jeff Hardy doing in WWE, which means we got to deal with more of this Hardy Family Office bullshit that no one asks for, no one cares for, and to be honest with you, it's really killing the careers of Private Party because Private Party used to be the hottest tag team coming to AEW, and now they feel stale, they feel flat, they feel like they're uninspiring now. They feel like they're not important anymore. They feel more irrelevant than they ever were relevant. How did they do that? Matt Hardy, because of this big money Matt character he's been doing since back in the days of TNA wrestling back in what 2016. Yeah, 2016. Yeah, 2016. And yes, it didn't last that long during that time because from there it was the whole thing with the feud between Matt and Jeff, which led to Matt Hardy ended up being broken, and that's when broken Matt Hardy became a thing. So Big Money Matt didn't run his course for that long, but now Matt Hardy is doing this whole Big Money Matt thing, moving away from broken Matt Hardy for other reasons why he decided not to do the broken stuff anymore because there was no fans there. Well, guess what? You got fans now. What's your excuse now? And this whole Big Money Matt on the Hart Family Office, it's not working at all. It runs its course. It runs course for God knows how long it has run its course already. As long as it ran its course, and you need to kill it. And bring back Broken Matt Hardy because Broken Matt Hardy is needed desperately right now because Matt Hardy doesn't feel any more important right now in AEW right now or anywhere else in pro wrestling right now since he moved away from Broken Matt Hardy to become Big Money Matt again. But there you go. And we're gonna have a match here between Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy Rampage in a lumberjack match. The sooner they get over with this match, the better we can move on from this bullshit. All of a sudden, we get to backstage. We see Eddie Kingston and CM Punk trying to fight each other. Fight me. But they're being pulled apart. Yeah, you have a couple of guys that wrestle on Dark, and yeah, Ruby Soho backing up Eddie Kingston. You have Dustin Rhodes backing up on CM Punk. Yeah, a few referees. Yeah, a few securities. Yeah, a couple again. Dark wrestlers. From wrestling on Dark or on Dark Elevations. They're backing up these guys away until Full Gear. I don't know who came across who, but I guess they saw each other at one point, and then they knew hell was going to break loose, and they called for backup. And again, Sanjay Dutt. I don't know how long Sanjay Dutt's been there for AEW, but he's there with them. Now he's retired from wrestling. But Sanjay Dutt, he's an AEW agent for the company, and that's I heard he was an agent for WWE. I don't know what happened there. I don't recall of him being fired during that time. From last year or this year. I don't know. But Sanjay Dutt's there though. Hey, Kingston, he was pretending not to get just walk away. Also, he starts sprinting. But they call him eventually. Back him up and everything. I never seen Eddie Kingston run that fast before. Like, with his fat build, I never seen him run that fast before. That was funny. But that was that. That was the end of that segment. Then we get to the gold, black, and white Power Ranger and Man of the Hour, Leo Rush. He came to collect. But the reason why I said that, he's a gold, black, and white Power Ranger because he's wearing an overall bodysuit, cover up his sleeve, and basically he all he's missing is a helmet. to really complete that he is a Power Ranger. But yeah, Leo Rush. But I love the outfit though. I thought it was cool. But it was Leo Rush and Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty, and we get crowds chanting for Lee Moriarty. I'm glad that AEW signed him because these crowds know who he is, and these crowds are going to get this guy over on AEW. So, and he's good. He's pretty good. I'm glad they signed him too. By the way, never heard him before until he wrestled against Bobby Fish, and ever since his match against Bobby Fish, he got signed with AEW. So they see something in him, and I see him. I see something in him too. Now, as far as this match was, awesome match. This was an awesome match, an awesome tag match, I should say, between two sides. And Leo Rush, he looked great in this match. Unlike what happened at Double or Nothing, with the whole Matt Hardy debacle, which led to him having a bad shoulder, and then he quote unquote retiring until he came out of retirement. I digress. But Dante Martin was good too here. In fact, all guys here were good. They were all great. But the one that stand out the most was Leo Rush and Dante Martin. And then I guess you could say Lee Moriarty from there. And then last guy, Matt Sydal. So in the end, it was Leo Rush and Dante Martin getting the win. And they came to collect, and that's exactly what they did. So very, very great match, a very good tag team match. More chance to what they can deliver. We get a video package, hype package for Miro versus Bryan Danielson, which is to two of the finals of the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament. Because originally it was supposed to be Jon Moxley, but because he's he's dealing with something right now, which is to enter into rehab of his alcoholisms, is why they went with Miro, and Miro is who's ranked up in the top rankings of why he was even suggested to be in there in the first place, and he's right now. Even beforehand, he's been delivering Miro with this new persona, this new character, this work that he's doing is tremendous. And with him being God's favorite son, the Redeemer, he's doing a very good job right now. And he's backing up with his matches too, of how dominant and how much of a monster he is. But this real package was pretty good. Pertains to these two guys. Now I think this is gonna be the opener. This might be the opener of the match for Full Gear. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Because I remember last year, Kenny Omega and the Hangman and Page were the opener of last year's Eliminator Tournament on Full Gear. And now this year, with Hangman and Omega, last year they were the openers. This year they're gonna be the closing of this pay-per-view of Full Gear. But yeah, I thought it was good though on this whole thing. Miro was on fire with this one, by the way, saying, Danielson is everything to him, to everyone, but nothing to him. And he said that he needs to win this tournament. He needs to be the world champion to put on his shoulder. He needs, and also he says Bryan Danielson better prepare to say goodbye to his wife, Brie Bella, so he can say hello to his. Lana. So I think Miro's trying to tell us here this promo he cut there. But I guess we have to see it to happen at Full Gear. And I'll let you know about my preview of it, where I give my predictions for Full Gear. Dax Harwood being coming by Tully Blanchard versus the Bastard Pack. And of all the matches I saw on Dynamite on this show, this right here basically had to follow up every other matches on the show. Obviously they did follow up Wardlow versus Wheeler Yuda. But they had to follow up the tag team match that happened. They had to follow up the opening match with Bryan Danielson had with Rocky Romero. They had to open up the match with Jungle Boy and follow up, I should say. Follow up Jungle Boy and Anthony Bowens. And guess what? It did. This was a wrestling match that you can ask for with these two guys. But Dax Harwood is very underrated as a singles wrestler. He's the best tag team wrestler with Cash Wheeler, but as a singles wrestler, he showed he can hang in singles matches. And I knew he could, because we don't see much of them in one-on-one matches because they're known to be a tag team specialist. But Max Hardwood really showed what he can do. So anyone who's also underrated in singles wrestling is Dax Hardwood, and showed it here against Pac. And Pac was great too. Both guys were great in this match. And then we get to Pac getting the win with the brutalizer, and Dax Hardwood immediately tapped out because he wanted to he didn't want to be in that long because storytelling there, he wants to to stay 100%. Versus to FTR versus Lucha Bros for AEW's World Title match for Full Gear. But Pac was letting it go though. Also, you get Cash Ray coming in there to the clock Pac, stopping on him and all. All of a sudden, Tony Blanchard gets in there, and all of a sudden the lights goes out, and you know what that means. Lights comes back on, and we see Andrade El Idolo, and that's gotta be Malachi in Malachi Black. So they're in the ring, and they're all jumping off Pac. Also, we see the Lucha Bros coming out from the stage, from the stage, from the stage, and then we see Cody Rhodes with R. Anderson. About it, also you have Alex Hernandez there following along with them. But back to Cody Rhodes. He's coming down from the crowd like he did before, which is to go up against Malachi Black for the for the Grand Slam event. That during that time when they were building it up. Same time, the same basically the same when he came out to go after Malachi Black. It's the same way he's doing this again to go after Malachi Black. And you have Anderson there as well. And so why were they up there? Like, well, this is the second time so far like Cody Rhodes was coming out from the crowd, and he's doing it again. Like, what was he doing up there? What was he at that he all the commotion of what's going on in the ring? They had to come from the crowd. Like, why he wasn't in group position with Tony Khan and BJ Whitmer and whoever else is there, manufacturing on the show, behind the scenes. I don't know, but they also fighting them in the ring to a point when the faces got got the ring and the heels retreat, and that was it. All right. With respect for our AEW Rampage, once I get done with this, which I'm about to right now, is Jungle Boy versus Bobby Fish, is Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy in the Lumberjack match. And I could swear they advertised a match between the Lucha Bros and Pac, Death Triangle to go up against FTR and Andrade El Idolo for this show, for Rampage, because it wasn't on Dynamite. I don't know. Maybe it is. I guess we have to wait and find out when I watch Rampage later on. But there you go. That's what's announced there so far. And then announced for the buy-in, it's gonna be Nara Rose and Jimmy Hayter versus Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida. Why Jimmy Hayter teaming up with Nara Rose? I don't know. You tell me. They booked it. But whatever. If anything, Nara Rose should team up. But then again, Jay Cargill will not accept that because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That whole thing. Because Nara Rose and Jay Cargill used to be alliance until she turned on her. Which and again, when it still happened, I done nothing. It made no sense. Wait, was it Double Nothing? No, I'm sorry, it was All Out. My fault. I meant to say All Out. But I digress. Tony Schiavone, he conducts the AEW World Championship contract signing between the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega versus the Hangman and the Page. So, while this is going on, because pertains to on this whole contract signing, no one from the Dark Order cannot be alongside with the Hangman and the Page, and no one from the Super Elite can be along with Kenny Omega with this contract signing. So they were banned, which means they had to leave the building. They had to immediately leave the building as they get ready to do this whole contract signing. So we thought we'll get to that later. So Kenny Omega, well, first of all, you got the Hangman on the Page. He goes to sign the contract and said, he didn't have much to say though, but he took the microphone and says that he's not sure what's left to say, and that's it. And he signs the contract, and there you go. And Kenny Omega didn't sign the contract yet because he wanted to talk. So Kenny Omega says to the Hangman, said that Page basically everything in AEW has meant for Page, but if it wasn't for the failures and the insecurities he had, what a disappointment. Says that that Omega said to Page, and then Page says Omega was always afraid of him. Omega never wanted to light a fire under Page's ass, so he became champion and took what Omega has. Omega also encounters, and he cared about. He said by saying that he cared about Page. He wants to shake Page's hand one last time before the pay-per-view, to go and kill it like they did last year, right? So they shook hands on that, right? And Omega says, where Page said that Omega said to him at one point that, I'm proud of you, and basically Page said that, to Omega that was nothing but a lie. And then Omega, this is again by saying he's proud of Page, which means he's lying, that he's proud of Page, which he's not proud of Page. Also, the cameraman clocks the Hangman with the camera, and then he reveals himself to be Don Callis. We all forgot about Don Callis because for weeks we haven't seen Don Callis for weeks. I don't know what else to say, but yeah. And also he appears, and the Hangman's bleeding because of that, And Omega decides to sign the contract because he didn't sign the contract yet. And Trish Miles like, wait a minute, you didn't sign the contract yet because he was given the lead after the whole shaking hand and I'm proud of you, Page, and all that. So he goes to sign the contract, but signs the contract in the Hangman's blood. I say myself, that's not how, but whatever. I know what I was gonna say. Oh, it's been done before. I know it's been done before. But the way that Omega did it, that's not how it's done. But there you go, folks. That was it. That was the contract signing, and that will do it for this Gong Show edition. We got one more Gong Show edition to go through. I don't know. I just said. I don't know what I just said there. This was the Gong Show edition, where it changes to how AEW Dynamite did it for Full Gear. Now we got one more to go for AEW Rampage to do their Gong Show edition for Full Gear. There you go. Now I said it the right way. Oh, that was terrible. Anyways, but now as far as the total amount of wrestling happening on the show, because again, there was a lot of wrestling on the show. Yeah, that Pac and Harwood match. Yeah, the tag team match, which I thought was an amazing tag team match it was. Yeah, that squash match that Wardlow had. Yeah, Jungle Boy and Anthony Bowens had that match. Yeah, but a women's six women's tag team match, I should say, happening. And then you had that the opening match with Bryan Danielson and Rocky Romero. So that was tomorrow's 6 matches on the show. And my overall strength for the show, I'm gonna go with an 8.5 out of 10. Very good show, and they did a very good job for Full Gear. All we need is one more show to go, and that is AEW Rampage. Speaking of which, I'm going to end this right now because Rampage is about to come on in 12 minutes. So, that being said, folks, thank you all for watching. To New Japan Girl, for in the comments, thank you for for tuning in. Thank you for the comments in the chat room, and thank you all for watching. If this is the first time you've seen yours truly Natural Born Thriller here on YouTube, I try to do my absolute best, giving my absolute best content. Please give this review a like, which is All Elite Wrestling, and make sure you subscribe. And share to everyone as well. Pertains to what I do here, not just pertains to when we talk about wrestling, but other things I do as well. But that being said, I am out here, top for now. For this Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. For you to be well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, get your hands sanitized, wear your gloves of any kind you can, and get vaccinated. If you don't get vaccinated, that's fine. You have to listen to anyone to tell you you need to get vaccinated. At the end of the day, it's your body, your choice. And be sure to be better, be respectful, be appreciative, to love one another. God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. So yeah. Now let's just say, folks, so thank you for watching. Take care.